As the Chicago Bears prepare for the upcoming season, the spotlight continues to shine on a critical question. Is their current running back group strong enough, or should reinforcements be considered? With offseason chatter circling names like Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb, and J.K. Dobbins, it's evident the franchise is exploring its options, or at least being connected to them. Chicago's front office notably did not prioritize the running back position in the draft until the 7th round, raising eyebrows among analysts and fans alike. The current group, DeAndre Swift, Roschon Johnson, and Manungai, is serviceable, but questions linger about whether the team has enough firepower in the backfield to support their evolving offense led by their rookie quarterback. Breece Hall has reportedly grown frustrated with his situation in New York, where the coaching staff is leaning toward a committee approach. If the Bears were to pursue him, Hall would likely land in a shared role again, though with potential to become the feature back. Given Swift's skill set as a change-of-pace runner, a tandem of Hall and Swift could offer Chicago a dangerous 1-2 punch. However, Hall is entering the final year of his rookie deal, raising the question, would Chicago be willing to commit long-term money or use him as a short-term rental? There's speculation that a future 4th-round pick, like the one acquired from the Rams, could be a trade chip for Hall. But with his injury history and unfulfilled star potential, many believe that using a Day 2 pick would be too steep a price. Meanwhile, talk of a Jonathan Taylor trade continues to spark interest. Though Taylor would immediately elevate Chicago's offense into elite territory, it seems unlikely that Indianapolis would part ways with him during a critical year for their franchise. A midseason trade could be possible if the Colts falter early, but it's more realistic to expect Taylor to stay put unless circumstances shift dramatically. Even free agency offers intriguing names. Nick Chubb, while recovering from injury, remains a high-upside candidate. The idea of signing Chubb and trading Swift was floated by fans, but it appears more plausible that Swift remains on the roster while competing for top reps. His performance last year, nearly 1,300 all-purpose yards behind a subpar offensive line, suggests he can still be a major contributor. The Bears' draft strategy has drawn mixed reviews, particularly for leaving obvious gaps unaddressed at running back and edge rusher, but sources close to the team suggest the team tried to make moves that simply didn't materialize. There was interest in players like Ashton Jeanty and Trayvon Henderson, but Chicago just missed out. Both were taken moments before the Bears picked at number 39 overall. The Bears reportedly attempted to trade up in the 2nd round, but couldn't find a willing partner. It was a similar story in the 4th round, where Cam Scatabo and Bashel Tutin were potential targets, but they too were drafted before Chicago could act. Despite the disappointments, the team stayed disciplined and stuck to their draft board. That philosophy paid off when Luther Burden was available, a player the front office views as a game-changing wide receiver prospect. Some fans might have preferred an edge rusher like JT Tuimoloau at that spot, but the belief internally was that Burden offered greater long-term value. Edge remains a question mark, with no obvious additions during the draft. One internal option could be Gervon Dexter, who might take snaps on the edge. There's also Shamar Turner, whose role remains fluid. Xavier Carlton, a post-draft pickup from Cal, could be a hidden gem. At 6'5", 270 pounds, with 9 sacks last year, he adds some raw upside at a position that still needs clarity. The Bears also added Colston Loveland at tight end, another player the team had rated highly. Though some questioned drafting a tight end so early, Loveland has strong potential as a receiving threat. Combined with Cole Kmet and Durham Smythe, the Bears may have one of the league's most underrated tight end trios. If Loveland can deliver a 500-yard season, this could become one of the top 10 tight end groups in the league. When evaluating the Bears' entire draft class, Luther Burden stands out as the potential steal. Despite his 2nd-round selection, several analysts graded him as a 1st-round talent. His presence could change the trajectory of Chicago's offense, giving the quarterback a true difference-maker at the wide receiver position. Looking ahead, some early 2026 draft chatter is already underway. Jeremiah Love, a standout back, could be on Chicago's radar if he continues to dominate in college. Depending on how the Bears finish this season, they may have the ammo or the motivation to trade up for a player of Love's caliber. With the dust from the draft settling, attention now turns to the season ahead. Chicago's roster is taking shape, but several key questions remain unanswered. One of the biggest unknowns is how the offensive line will perform, particularly at left tackle. Darnell Wright is a candidate to switch sides if needed, while Braxton Jones could be extended if he flourishes in the new scheme. There's also Ozzie Trapilo, a developmental prospect with upside. The position is far from solidified, but there are options. Safety and linebacker also remain needs, though performance this year will dictate urgency. If younger players emerge, those needs may fade. But if not, they'll be top priorities in the next offseason. A surprise position could also enter the conversation. Cornerback, for instance, if Tyreek Stevenson fails to develop into a reliable starter. And of course, running back could resurface yet again. If Swift doesn't fully capitalize on his opportunities, or if injuries mount, expect the Bears to revisit that position in earnest. As the Bears prepare for training camp and OTAs, there's a general sense of optimism, but also realism. The team knows it's not perfect. The coaching staff and front office are aligned in building something sustainable, not just flashy. The NFC North landscape adds another layer of intrigue. Detroit enters the season as the favorite to win the division for a third consecutive year, but the race is expected to be tighter than ever. The Packers, Vikings, and Bears all have arguments for a potential title run, and concerns that could derail them. A 12-5 record may be enough to clinch the division this year, unlike last season's high bar. Behind the scenes, executives and coaches across the league are feeling the pressure. A recent incident involving a rival team's GM lashing out at local media made waves, highlighting just how tense things can get when expectations rise. Chicago's leadership, in contrast, continues to maintain a measured, professional tone. As fans look ahead, excitement surrounds this revamped offense, from Luther Burden's breakout potential to Colston Loveland's versatility and Swift's explosive ability. There's no shortage of talent. The challenge lies in putting it all together and staying healthy. The schedule release on May 14th will give a clearer view of what lies ahead, but regardless of matchups, the Bears will need answers at running back, edge, and potentially offensive line to reach their ceiling. Still, the groundwork has been laid. Now, it's up to the roster and time to deliver.